Hello, and welcome to Mind Window, the place where we catch your sorrows and return to the world a person who is whole, happy, and at peace. Have you ever felt that ache of unspoken feelings, a hope that fills your chest every time your phone buzzes, wishing it was a message from them? Every time you hear your name called out in a crowd, you secretly pray it's their voice. Whenever you watch a romantic scene in a movie, you can't help but picture yourself right there next to them. When it came time to make a wish for the new year, your one beautiful, heartfelt desire was just to have them. Today, we're opening a door to those secret chambers of the heart, and I invite you to stay until the very end, because the stories we're about to share might just be the very ones your own heart has been keeping. Someone once said that having a secret crush is like listening to music with headphones on full blast. To the outside world, everything is silent, but only you can feel the roaring, thundering symphony inside your own heart. I also read somewhere that a crush is like the evening stars. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. You never know when you'll see them, but you can't stop yourself from looking up, waiting. And loving someone from afar, it's like choosing to walk down a one-way street. You never see anyone coming towards you. There's only one path, and you just keep moving forward alone. It's nothing short of a game of chance. If the person you like happens to like you back, it's the greatest stroke of luck. But to fall for someone who doesn't like you back, who doesn't even know the depths of your feelings, well, there's a special kind of despair reserved for a heart in that situation. A love that can't be spoken is perhaps the most fragile love in the world, yet it's also incredibly beautiful and precious. Because for those who are secretly in love, their eyes are always shielded by a pair of rose-colored glasses, turning every ordinary scene into something poetic, straight out of a fairy tale. Our first letter comes from a listener who goes by the nickname Chloe. I really wanted to write this letter to you as my official goodbye to the person I truly, truly liked so much. I met you on a chilly evening. You were sitting inside a coffee shop, and I was just outside the glass window. I will never forget that moment. In a heartbeat, I just knew we were going to have a profound connection. And as it turns out, it was incredibly profound, profoundly one-sided. I never thought that I, a girl who hadn't felt a spark for anyone in years, could fall so hard and so obsessively. I guess all it took was the right catalyst, you. Our story began with a single message from me. Hey, I think you're really cute. If you don't have a wife, kids, or a special someone, you should message me back. You replied, I don't. Hi. So what have I been doing for the past 8 months? I've been tormenting myself, creating my own heartbreak, and living in a fantasy where we had a happy ending. I couldn't accept that I wasn't the right person for you. I did things that, looking back now, I'm still ashamed of. But in the end, all I ever received were your polite rejections. Then one day, I saw a post online. Someone asked the original poster, why aren't you miserable over your unrequited love like I am? And the person gently replied, because you want to possess them. In that instant, something just exploded inside my mind. It was true. I liked you so much that my affection had twisted into a desire for ownership. I don't want that. I want you to be happy without any pressure. A confession is meant to express a feeling, not to force a relationship. I know you're happy now with the person you truly like. Thank you for helping me learn a hard lesson about acceptance and letting go in 2023. No matter where or when, I will always wish you true happiness. I think Chloe is absolutely right. A confession is for expressing your feelings, not for demanding a relationship in return. Sometimes just saying what you've been holding inside is enough to free yourself from that secret emotional burden. Just being able to say, I like you, is a way of setting yourself free. Because you can't force someone to love you back, can you? Now that you've let it go, Chloe, I hope you learn to love yourself even more. And I hope that luck finds you in love, bringing you to someone you like who just so happens to like you right back. Next, we have a letter from a listener named Moon. I like you. Just 3 simple words, but why couldn't I ever bring myself to say them? That autumn, the season of golden sunlight, held my secret, one-sided love for a boy. I don't know when it started, when I began to like you so much. Maybe it was your eyes. They held all the hope of autumn, and they nurtured a tiny seed in my heart that grew each day. Back then, I was so stubborn. I knew you had a girlfriend, but I still let myself believe that you noticed me. So foolish, wasn't it? Even now, I realize that no matter how many other people I might like, I can never truly forget your silhouette. In the end, thank you for showing up in my life and helping me grow up. And I'm sorry for ever imagining I held a special place in your world. Goodbye. You know, Moon, anyone with a one-sided love feels this way. Your mind is always overflowing with daydreams, and that's not foolish at all. Who doesn't yearn to love and be loved, right? To be able to write these lines, I know you must have learned so much. Our friend has grown so much from this unrequited love, and that's something truly precious. You'll learn to love yourself more deeply and realize that you deserve all the happiness in the world. Maybe you won't forget him, but let those feelings settle deep in your heart like a beautiful memory of your youth. The future is long, and you'll meet so many more people. And who knows, one day you'll find the one who is truly meant for you. There's actually a term for not being able to forget someone's image, a forever crush. A forever crush is an affection for someone that just doesn't seem to fade. They'll always hold a special place in your subconscious, a name you can never forget. In other words, just a glimpse of them or even hearing someone mention their name is enough to make your heart flutter all over again. Most of us have a name like that, one that rests peacefully in our hearts. When you think of them, there's no pain, no lingering regret, just a calm fondness. Some people argue that a forever crush isn't really love, but more of a deep admiration. Because they were so special, they naturally earned a priority spot in our minds. So, let's read a letter from a listener who goes by Strawberry Kitten and see who her forever crush is. Forever Crush is the most complete title I can give him after 7 years of silent love. I once went crazy with happiness over the stories we shared every day, and then there were times I fell into absolute despair because of this love I had created all on my own. I used to be an incredibly toxic and negative person. At first, he was so patient with me, but gradually he became helpless, and we just drifted further and further apart. It wasn't until much, much later, looking back, that I realized the thing that ruined our connection was me. We were nothing to each other, officially, but because of my stubborn belief that he was mine, I unintentionally forced him to absorb all my negativity and expected him to fix it. But by then, it was too late for anything to go back. Now, he's halfway across the world, and I know my friend will grow and fly so high, so far. Perhaps what I want to say most in this letter is, I'm sorry. A very, very late apology to my hip-hop duck. I love you, and I am so, so sorry. I believe Strawberry Kitten's apology will reach her hip-hop duck soon enough. And please, don't be so hard on yourself anymore. Just by writing these words, I know you've already started to let go of some of that weight in your heart. Unrequited love. It's like 3 parts beautiful, 7 parts painful. It's beautiful because of that innocent feeling of chasing a one-sided affection, something so pure it makes you feel foolish but also makes you smile so easily. But it's painful because it drowns you in a pit of sadness and disappointment. A crush makes you feel everything all at once. A single text message can leave you dazed for an entire day. A simple "how are you" can make you overthink 1,000 different things. An apology from them somehow makes you feel like you're the one at fault. A passing compliment has you painting a future where you're walking side by side. Even when you're at your lowest, if they ask for a favor, you'll still smile and help. Even when your own world is a mess, if they're sad, you'll sit and listen for hours. Every single one of your emotions suddenly exists only because of theirs. Our next letter comes from someone with the nickname Wobbly Jellyfish. Lately, all the couples I followed from the very beginning have been announcing their breakups. It's so sad, isn't it? I don't know why it's happening. They were together for years, some for over a decade. They held hands, grew up together, walked through life together, and were a part of each other's story. And still, it came to an end. I've had crushes that lasted a few months, a year, and the longest was 4 years. It was a classmate from middle school. He was smart, pretty quiet and reserved, and didn't have a very serious personality. Doesn't sound like much to fall for, does it? I guess the only thing that redeemed him was that he was great at math, and my biggest weakness was math. And just like that, I had a crush. At first, I thought it was just a fleeting crush, the kind that wouldn't last. But then, quietly, silently, that feeling followed me for 4 whole years. I watched him fall in and out of love with one person after another, and somehow it didn't break my heart. I think, deep down, I always knew this one-sided love story would never have a happy ending for me. When we got to high school, I held on to that crush for another year. Then, in my junior year, it just vanished, and the relief was incredible. My heart finally felt light again. I'd still notice if someone said his name, but I no longer felt that jolt in my chest when we passed in the hallway. I stopped scanning the crowds for him after the final bell. The strange part is, even now, when we run into each other, I can't talk to him, not like I can with everyone else. There's this wall. I don't want to speak to him. Sometimes I think I even resent him. It makes me wonder, do unrequited love and a real breakup lead to the same destination? A place where you either end up bitter rivals who never speak again, or you're left with this faint, lingering ripple in your soul whenever their name is mentioned. But no matter how it ended, I can't deny that my one-sided love for you woke up a part of my heart that had been sleeping for so long. It gave me life, intense emotions, and a whirlwind of feelings that only someone who is loved from afar could ever truly understand. So, whether we ever become friends again or not, I will always be silently grateful that you existed in my world just to show me that my heart was capable of beating so wildly for love. Some people choose to end their unrequited love story with a gentle surrender, their hearts simply too exhausted from giving so much without ever asking for anything back. For some, this brings a sense of peace. But for others, the end is just the beginning of a relentless, haunting ache. Think of a classic story about a man named Liam who secretly loved his childhood friend Chloe his entire life. He loved her so much that he eventually had to leave their small hometown of Maple Creek because he couldn't bear to stay, but he couldn't bear to let the feeling go either. Let's be honest. No one who has ever loved in secret can truly say they were happy. Even if Liam had found the courage to tell Chloe how he felt, would the story have ended differently? Probably not, because in the end, it was always a one-sided love. Chloe had already chosen her own path, and even a heartfelt confession wouldn't have brought her back to him or to Maple Creek. And so the choice to confess or to keep it buried in your heart really depends on where you both are in your lives. So many people will tell you, you only get one youth, so just say it. Get it all off your chest so you won't have any regrets in 2, 5, or 10 years. Confessing feels like you're finally putting down a heavy burden. But have you ever stopped to think that maybe, just maybe, you're placing that same heavy burden onto the shoulders of the person you confess to? Life is rarely that simple, is it? When you feel like your path is easy, it's almost certain that someone else is carrying the difficult parts for you. We get so caught up in the confessor's need for relief, for a life without regret. But what about the one who has to hear it? How are they supposed to face that confession? Do you think they don't feel the pressure, that their mind doesn't race? There are times when not speaking is the kindest, most correct choice. Maybe you've developed feelings for someone new while you're already in a relationship. Or you find yourself falling for someone who is already committed, who has a family. Or maybe the person you care for is already wrestling with their own immense struggles. There are countless scenarios where the most compassionate thing you can do is to keep that feeling locked away, to not add another burden to their life, to not cross a moral line, and to give that feeling time to grow within you so you can truly understand if its existence is right or wrong. So you see, the choice isn't just about satisfying your own need for closure. You're the one who fell for them after all. If you speak up, will the turmoil you feel now simply transfer to them? Will they be left agonizing, wondering why you would gamble your own happiness on them? But then there's the other side. What if you confess, get rejected, but then they start sending mixed signals, making you feel like there might still be a chance? That's how you get trapped in a vicious cycle, a loop of hope and heartbreak that you can never escape. So please, I need you to be incredibly clear-headed and ask yourself what you truly need. Is this a connection you absolutely must have in your life, no matter the cost? When it's all said and done, unrequited love is a journey you walk alone. You love alone. You make promises to your own heart alone. You overthink, you agonize, you build beautiful, dreamlike scenarios in your head, and then you feel the crushing pain when reality doesn't match. Everything is on you. But listen to me. If you can do all of that by yourself, then you can also heal, overcome, and shower yourself with all the love and comfort you need. You can do that by yourself too. I'm sorry, Sarah. I just can't do this to you. I can't make you miserable. It's because of her, isn't it? But can you even take care of her, Alex? Does she even want you to? Do you have any idea how many other guys I've turned down waiting? I'm sorry. I'm moving to the city soon. I can't be stuck in this small town anymore. It's enough that I'm trapped here in my own head. So please, go find someone who deserves you. Be happy. The tears, I'll just keep them to myself. If only I could turn back time. Go back to a place where my heart didn't yet know love, hadn't yet known this longing. Go back to a time before it was tangled up in these feelings. If we had never met, I wouldn't be in this much pain. Because I know it was always just me, loving you on my own. But I just don't know how to stop. So I guess I have to accept it, that you don't love me, darling. And with that, we come to the end of our journey into the quiet corners of the mind. Sometimes the heart is heavy, and the feelings we can't speak are the ones that weigh the most. If this story resonated with you, and you don't want to miss more of these deep dives from Mind Window, it would mean the world if you'd hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe share this video with someone who needs to hear it. What are your thoughts? Have you ever felt this way? Feel free to share your stories and feelings in the comments below. Let's make this a space for connection and understanding. Thank you for being here. See you in the next one.